Welcome back to Dyson Sphere Program. My name is Nilaus and we are going to continue on our hunt for achievements. I'm not going to do all achievements because there are some that are speedrunning, there are some that are just a manual grind, and we are here to build cool factories. So the ones that are factory related and other sort of fun things we will be definitely be doing. So we're going to be starting looking at some of the ones that we are working towards. So what we're working towards is this one here, achieve a data rules everything around me. That's the one we're going to be working on today. That means we need to make a hell of a lot of hashes per second. Interesting. And then we have another one over, where are you? A lot of these you can say that, have we already done that? Yes, we have. We're also going to do this. I can see my house from here. Why not? And then we have, where is it? That one here, up there, 10 million hashes, and the Dyson Sphere total is also, there's also one about having a Dyson Sphere of 1 terawatt. That one, Center Brain needs more energy. 3. Those are the ones that we are going to focus on, so that is our objective. Let's start by looking at this planet. This planet, Stohakalot, around the star of Lorenzo Lewis. And you can see here we have now 2 planets here just fully dedicated just to build a Dyson Sphere around this planet. Or around this star. That's what we're going to do now, because our main objective is actually getting up there and just dragging as much power as possible here. You can see we're actually at this point, we are not even able to satisfy all the power that we need in order to, and the only thing that's happening on this planet or this location is actually just the shooting up here. So this is interesting. I think it's just to show you that we are going to be setting up a lot more launching around here. We're going to go to Julian because Julian is a clean planet without any factories on it. Come on, fly up, go above the ocean. There we go, off the planet, break into orbit, and we're going to go here. So what we're going to do this one, we are going to dedicate this one to a science facility. And it's not just going to be a science facility, it's going to be a special science facility that will do exactly what we want, like making 1 million science hashes per second. That's a lot. The first thing though is obviously you can see we don't have our polar hub and we don't have our solar panels. So let's get that sorted so we can get started on building the planet. So at this point we have the planet ready. It's now ready to start working on. What we're going to do at this planet is we will need to request some more materials from, or not, some more power. Even though I built this, I also have a new version of my polar hub. This includes 2 export locations here for exporting resources that we gather from a planet. It involves a little loop here. This one's not working. It's not because it's incorrectly set up. It's just because the draw is so little that it kind of has turned off. So now that means we have more power on this planet, but we still don't have enough power for the massive build that I want to build. So what we want to do is, well, let's find a location that doesn't have too much. I'll also take a lot of that. And we are going to go to this location. We'll start by doing the design part because I think that's the most important. And once we've designed one, we are going to go into the next parts. That one, and I'll be using this. The reason why I'm using, just maybe someone don't know this, if I use that custom one, then at some point if someone later comes in, so in this case Julian, if Julian comes in and says, hey, I want the pink color, then I can change that default, that custom color, and then I will get, it'll automatically change everything that I built to pink. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. That is the area we need to allocate. That is 1 planetary sector. Technically it's 2 planetary sectors, but who's counting? There. And so what we want to build is we want to build a science facility that can produce 1 million hashes per second. That is a lot. Now the first thing and the first problem with that is figuring out how many hashes is it actually producing. Well, the first thing we need to do is we need to figure out how much we need here. This I'll need to take number 9, and then we can go back to these ones afterwards. Actually, I just only want to take level 9 here because right now we have 900 research speed and I want to get to 1000% research speed because otherwise it gets really complicated. So 1000% research speed normally is 60, so that would be 600, and then of course because I do proliferate, what the hell? Alright, I'm just gonna ignore that problem and hope it goes away by itself. Go away. Go away now. Because that's like the worst warning you could ever imagine seeing. Wow. Wow. Okay, I am stunned. Huh. Never seen that before. I am really worried. I'm gonna have to check what that actually is. Can I can't click it, so I can't see where it is. I'd have to be looking out there and see, go up and then go. Damn, distractions, man. Distractions. Yeah, it's back home. So it is actually our default production. Alright. I'm just gonna ignore that problem and hope it goes away. We could just, I could just look at it a bit later. Oh my god, it's annoying. I have to fix it. Sorry, I have to fix that. I'll see you back at Tekivara starving and figure out what the hell the problem is. Okay, so we're back here at starving. What I did previously between sessions was I removed the copper smelting on this planet because, I mean, who in their right mind would want copper smelting on this random planet? So we just cleaned up on this planet and removed a few of the smelting columns because who cares about smelting? We're not going to use smelting here. So that has meant interesting things such as we are probably still bringing in, yeah, copper ore, but we should be bringing in copper plates. Let's get that in here. There we go. And don't want to bring in this, but we probably want to bring in... Oh, that's already there. Then we're bringing magnets as well. And... come on. There. And also this one is definitely not how it's supposed to go. It's supposed to go the other way. Bring stuff in here. This is not a crafting position. Wow. All right. Well, that was interesting. But the good thing is now when we get our copper back in here, it is going to go into our green circuit build. It's already coming something here, so it's going to go into our green circuit build. The green circuit build will hopefully. That is the weirdest thing I've seen. Why is this one set like that? What? There. And that will then give us more green circuits. So the issue right now is not the fact that I'm running out, but more the fact that my production is running out. So I still have this part here, which is kind of irrelevant because if I just put it in, then it's still just going to go back into this location. What I need to make sure... Okay, so I noticed it because the production has stopped, but I still have 16,000 in storage to sort of as a buffer. So I'm not in any kind of a problem to run out of this. And now it will be required that, as we can see here, this is starting to work, and we are now getting over here. These are coming in again. Good. And as that is coming in, we'll start getting the strange matter. Strange matter goes into here. Well, one of them, that one. Yes, this is now building. We're just following it along. There. Gets a green lens out, that goes out there, gets proliferated and goes in here, and then we have green circuit, green science production online again. Right, as we get the green online again, we know that this one will be getting started, and I can go back to where I was before. So that's kind of the benefit of having monitors on the belt, because when the belt stops flowing, then I still have a buffer to react to. So hey, that was a cool little distraction, and those little distractions there are tons of those. And we are going out here. So I'll see you back out at Juloran Station. We're now back here on Juloran Planet. We got our plus 60 hashes here, and I'm actually going to stop my science right now so we can just let it build up a buffer, and that buffer will be used for what we're going to do. So let's see. What I was doing before our little distraction, you can see the warning up here is disappeared while I was just making some pavement here. So what we want to do is we want to say how many of these do we need in order to make 1 million science per second. All right, well, each one is normally making 60 hashes per second. Okay, that's not a problem. 60 hashes per second is not a problem. Then it's times 10 now, so that's 600, and then proliferation, that's 750. So all I need to do is take 1 million and divide it by 750, and then I get 1,333 of those. Well, if I divide that by 90, just happens to that, that's 14.8. So if I do 15 builds of 90 matrix labs, then I am good. And the way I'm going to do that is I am going to say, well, 1, 2, 3, and then 5 times over, and you can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the space we have, and then it's just a matter of making 90 is 6 towers of 15 high, so that's not overwhelming. 6 towers of 15 high is also less than but we are going to do something really interesting. I think it's interesting, at least, so hopefully you are as well. Now, this is going to take a long time to build up, because I need to make sure that I build up a buffer and not have science running at all, and then when I have the buffer completed, I'm going to do that. I'm going to let it go. So how would I know when the buffer is full? Because I'm not going to sit here and just watch it. I could also just leave it for 10 hours, but I don't know if it's 1 hour or 10 hours it takes to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be monitoring things in between here. So I'm going to be building another one. How close can we make it? We cannot make it there, so we make it here. Now this one will not be exporting in any way, shape or form. Yet I'd still do this. This one will not be doing that. It'll be importing, and let's say you're going to be importing, you know, only 5,000. There. There are lots of calculations, by the way, because what I also need to say is, like, how much do I need to have stockpiled in order to run for 1 minute at 1 million signs per second? So 1 million signs per second. Divided by 600, that is no, it's each white cube is equal to 900 hashes. It's really weird. So I divide by 900 for all except one research, so we'd skip that research. So that means and then I also divide it by the proliferation, because I have that. That means I need 888 per second. That's kind of a lot. Times 60 seconds. That means I need 53,000 in total, and 53,000 white science stockpiled is not actually that much if you just think about it. Like, it's not so much, it's a couple of towers. And then I divide that by 15 towers each, and that means each one only needs to hold 3,000. So that's actually not so much. So let me just make it a bit bigger. So that I'm going to say this one. So what I want is, this is going to be requesting, and then it's going to shunt it over to the other part as quickly as it can. There. So you will be able to request things inbound here. And as it requests, it moves over and waits here. So when will it be done requesting? See, I can't tell if this is done requesting. I can't measure this. The only thing I can measure is throughput on belts. So the only thing I have is I actually have to do a throughput measurement on the belt here. And then of course we're going to need some power lines. Let's get those in so that they're not looking awful right now. Let's go there and then make it one on that side as well. Yeah. Alright, so that's powered. Now this one, I'm going to need to monitor something. You always monitor for 60 seconds. That's just easier. And I want a target flow of 0. So when it is not 0, then it passes. And then I want to say that I want it to be a failure and it is passing cargo. What the hell does that mean? No, failure and pass cargo. So what this means is I want to monitor the situation where I have stuff on the belt, but it's not moving. So I want the flow rate to be 0, and I want that to be cargo, because there are two situations where the flow rate could be 0. Either there's nothing on the belt, or the belt is jammed. And I want to monitor that the belt is jammed, because if the belt is jammed here, that means I have 10,000 here, and then this buffer is full. That's the best way I can do it. So the way I'm going to do that, I'm going to need to set a failure constraint. Basically saying the pass constraint is that there is something on the belt. That means the failure constraint is there's nothing on the belt. That means the failure constraint is there is... this is so complicated. The failure constraint is that there's nothing on the belt. Failure constraint is that there is something on the belt and it's passing cargo. Yes. Good. Something. Technologies. I'm going to do the technology here for the infinite speed science thing because that's kind of what we want to do. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, it's an upgrade. I want to do that one. So we are going to have to test if this is working. Otherwise we are not gonna, it's not gonna work. I can just do this because it's not gonna work because nothing is exporting remotely. But we can do something else. We can do a test thing, and testing is super important. So we'll do that on the number 2. I'll just do this part. But what happens if I put this in here? There. It'll have a flow. And it's not going to be flowing in here. If it flows in here, let's just start by making it flow in here. So now we can see there is a constant flow in here. That means there is a green condition because it is not 0. That's good. Not 0. And now it fails again. It's going to stay up here because that's how much we've monitored in that. And then it's as it goes in out. What I want to see is I want to see what happens if there is a... If we have stuff on the belt, but it's not moving. So you can see they went a bit up because that's how much has gone up, but it's not moving on the belt. So let's just wait a minute and then we'll see if what happens at that point. So as it is 1 minute ago that the last things moved on the belt, we will see that this is dropping to 0 and now drop to 0 and we get a warning. This tells us that we actually have a buffer full, and that means if I have 15 parallel builds, what that means is I will now know that I have 15. Let's get that. Let's make sure this is correct as well. I will have. I will need to wait until I have 15 of these warnings. So when I have 15 of these warnings, that means I know that I am good to go. That's good. That's good, I think. And let's see. I do believe that it is proliferated, but I'm not 100% sure. So what we'll do here is we'll get that one out here and move it in. So now we just need to build the towers. I'm going to do proliferation. I'm just going to make sure that there is proliferation on this. That means I'll put it on here. That's the good place. And I will then build some here. How big do we want it? I think this is the right place to build it. That one and that one. Yes, it fits with distances and all that good stuff. Inbound, inbound. These will be switched to power to that. And they need to be as high as they can. There we go. And then I'm gonna take a copy of this. Oh. Take a copy of it, like that, but remove the belts, otherwise I can't stamp it down on top. Here, and here. And that's basically going to be our design. So this one will be 15 deep. We're missing something? No, research, no research actually. So this is our design. If we have this, it's gonna be awesome. Should we test it to see it works? Yeah, we absolutely should test it to see it works. But the way that we have to test it is that we now need to fly to the 2 places that actually make science. I'm producing science at 60 per second. So we need to fly to those locations. Can I remember where it is? I think that's one of them. So let's go to Matrix over at, no, it's not. That's not the one. Yeah, I'm going to fly to the 2 locations and we will be disabling them and actually, instead of locally exporting, then galactically exporting. And here we are on the planet and we are going to go here. Now, this is also important. You are not going to be doing this anymore. Let's see, you're just going to be like that. Man, I don't really want that to be... that's... Yeah. Yeah, we'll just clean that out a bit afterwards. And then we'll fly over here and find the location where we have our production of white science. Here it is. And it's completely idle, unfortunately, because it's not exporting off-world. But as we set it to export off-world, like that, we should see something coming in or something being picked up. I'll even put something here. Now we don't have warpers in this place, which is kind of a shame, and I'll add that as well, because previously that was not necessary. And oh right, the reason why it's not working is because the other one doesn't have warpers either. So as soon as warpers come in, we will see that this gets exported to the one setup we had, the test setup. So let's wait for the space warpers to come in. As soon as they come in, they are coming here, there, and they are already gone. Three are sent out. Perfect. And then we go over to the other location and find the same thing at that location. Here we are on the other planets. That's also busy. It is not as busy now because it's actually completely idle because of its I have no science running, so we will do the same thing as we did on the other planets. We have 2 of these planets that are producing 30 science, or technically 33. Oh, look at that, by the way. That's the space turtle. We have a lot of cool things. And then you might be like, hey, I haven't seen that. Why did you not build it on the YouTube? Yeah, but that's because I've been playing hundreds of hours on this on Twitch, and there has to be something new and exciting for me to show you here. And just making another space turtle, it might not be exciting enough for an episode. So what I'm doing is I am taking these things here, and if you want to watch more, then come on over to Twitch. And of course you can always watch the VODs. They are on the YouTube channel Nilaus TV, my second channel, where I put all of the VODs for all my live streams. So if you want to see that more detail, more Dyson Sphere than what I put into these episodes, then that's a good place to look. And we can also just do the other thing from there, this one. And going in here. Okay, so this is done. Now, the only thing we need to do is jump on back to our location, our starting location, or our working location over at Lorenzo Lewis Juran. That's where we want to go. So let's jump back over to that location. That's here. And to that one. All right, I will see you at that location. So we are now back here on this planet, and this has not been working, so this is good. Oh, look at that! And just as we come in here, we have this one filling up. That is good, looking good. Now, this has not been set correctly outbound, so what I can do is I can actually do this, and that will still exhaust all of the research we have stored in the other 2 locations, just so that we exhaust it, and then we can see this accurately. And once it's done, we are going to take a lot more of these. I am just going to take let's see, copy this and build it at this location and at this location. So that means we now have 3 of these at this location. What you will also be noticing is that we are probably running out of that. So what I've done is I have pre-requested all of this. There we go. Oops. Ah, shoot, that one. So that is going to be filling up here. And also that's excellent. We have now burned through all of the research that we had stuck in the old facility. That means great. And what we can then do is I can build... Hold on. Let's see. Oh, this is not proliferated. Okay, so I do need to absolutely proliferate this as it comes out. Good. And also probably need a lot more power poles, or a lot more... Yep, already had pre-built that as well. I will build here. That one. Get it all the way up here. Got it. And these can now go out. So what are we seeing now? Now we're seeing that there's no warning up here because this is moving. As long as it's moving, there is no warning. The warning is in quotation mark because the warning is actually a ready marker for us to tell us, hey, things are good. Oh, I didn't do that. I didn't do that. No! Oh, I didn't do that. There was a point to this. There was a point to it. Don't do that until you have the proliferator running. Ah, typical. Well, what I'm going to do is I am going to build a proliferator. I'm going to build it inside this one, but I'm going to build it out here first because I don't want to be copying it into the other locations. Once I take this one being done, I will take... Oops. Nope. You are going to be taken here. 400. And it's not going to work because I don't have any of these items here. Always request this. That's at least how I want to do it. There we go. And I also need here. Another problem. No logistic spots. All right. I'll find some logistic spots to get this working because we only need a few. And we got some drones and we got this one operational. Now all we need to do is rebuild this part. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy all the way over to this location, yeah? Use now, and then we can delete. And with a bit of luck, it gets rebuilt. Oops. There are a few mistakes here. Take that out. There we go. And we'll also have a power problem with all of this, but that's for us to fix afterwards. Just the belt. Good. And get it back in. Yeah, finding white signs on a white underground. It's in bright daylight, in the snowy field. Not as easy as you'd hope. Just the more you zoom out, the easier it is to find things. Oh, the last one is just not relevant. Luckily, that's not relevant. And I'll put that in here. Look at that. There's actually two of them now stuck. This one is stuck because it has gotten everything. Oh, wow. I can even do this. There. And this will also be stuck soon. Yeah. And this will be... Let's see. I think this is gonna... Okay, and we will just now... Now we can let this go out. Let it go out because it gets proliferated. And then before we can switch it on, which we're not gonna do anytime soon, we need to build the rest of it as well. What we need to do is we need to build down here, down south. We need to build all of a power plant as well. So in order to build a power plant, we are going to do... Well, I'm calling it a power plant. Oh. Here. Yeah, so we need to build here a ray receiver setup. I think we'll do it in 2 rings. Like the ring 1 and the ring 2 should be enough with all of the proliferation set up as well. So this one should be ring number 1. And then we just make it a bit bigger so it's the same size as the polar hub. And then we make it one more ring out here. Be out here. And that should be big enough for what we need. That one. And once we have this, now we can build the solar sails, and then we can also scale up the other one to the size that we wanted. There. And we are going up here. Privacy 1. Good. And Dyson Sphere Builder Ring 2. align it. And we're missing a few things, a few splitters. That's always the case. Let's get a few splitters here. Oops. There. And I will also need to get at this point, and I will get some proliferation, because that is super important for this part. There. Because proliferating the lenses has just turned out to be an absolutely amazing idea. It gets so much more power. And tap, 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 tap. And then up one. There. It's 4 times as much power, I think. I think it is, yeah. And we are going to request the lenses. And that one, and everything will be good. So that takes care of the power without any problems. And the only thing we're missing now you can see here, these 3 are done. What I need to do now is have a little build montage so that I can build the rest of it, and we can see that it works. However, before we do that, there is a little achievement we want to do. You can do that, and then you can do 1, 2. It's so difficult, this part. Why are we playing a platformer now? I don't know. I don't know. Why are we playing a platformer? 4. Jump up and move forward. You can't run and jump. You have to jump and then move forward. Otherwise, it doesn't work. Which is really weird. So again, jump and move forward. This is the achievement that we want to get 40 meters up. Without flying, by just jumping, and this is how to do it. Problem is, the longer we get here, the higher we go up, because of the curvature of the Earth, the further we have to move forward to land on the next one. What are the odds of me making it in the first try? Luckily we have the power of editing, so... Ow! Damn it! Damn it! Ta-da! I can see my house from here! Useless achievement! Woohoo! But we got it in first try. Kind of. So what I want to do now is I want to make sure that we copy this part so we can get on with this, and let's do a little build thing, and yeah, let's build this. So we built it. That actually did not take very long time to build. Pretty cool. And all of it is working. Let's see. They all have here, but obviously they're not going to get anything inbound because it just starts filling up from one side. Well, it fills up as soon as there's something to fill up, then it will start requesting. And as you can see here, and this is exactly why I wanted to build it like this, so that we now have... why are we not getting any... Yeah, okay, so there are no warpers here, so that's also a good point. Let's go all the way back here and build warpers in the middle. So that means it's not quite done. Let's build warpers here in the middle. And let's see. That one should not have it. It should be up here. So you're getting warpers, and then the warpers will go to the other ones. Yeah, unfortunately that's now has to also be set up for the other ones, but that's okay. We will do that. And that was the last one. Now all of them have... Yeah, this should get something in. Why are we not getting it? Things, man. Oh, you burned through all of our warpers here. Okay, so that's why we didn't get it in. Okay, as soon as we get some warpers in, they'll be shipped out to various locations. It's just because of the storage. This one is getting something. All right, all of them now have warpers. They have warpers. They can go back and grab some more. These ones that are green means that they something has passed through recently. Like that. This one red means that nothing has passed through for the last minute. Either way, there's only 3 of them that are green. And what we can then do from here on is basically just wait. And but this is a good opportunity for me to do other things, and then we can come back as this one is increasing. You can see here, this is already at 668, and this is also 668. Okay, so this, you can see that there's been some batches coming in. Here we have 6,000 coming in, 6,000 coming in, 4,000 coming in. So once this one actually comes in with the first loads, then it will actually stack up, and we'll have one more that is done. Let's just wait for seeing at least one of these get completed, and then we can sort of just skip ahead from there. I just want to see that how it works. There we go. We are now getting stuff inbound, and what we'll see here is that once it hits 10,000, it stops. That means this one has a stockpile here. It gets stuck at that point, and this gray line here is when something has been moving, and then because I'm monitoring on a 1 minute cycle, then it's going to take 1 minute before this sort of transitions off, and when it transitions off, then it'll go back to 0. This one's also stuck, so we will very, very shortly actually have... Is this also stuck? Yeah, it's also stuck. We'll soon have 3 more that are completed in less than a minute. Once they are completed, then we can just let the other ones transition. You can see there has been at least 1 line out coming up for all of them, except for this. This one hasn't received anything yet, and it's still not receiving anything. So it's going to be taking quite a while for this to complete. What we can use as a frame of reference is this one. We have 20 gigawatt of power produced in this Dyson Sphere. And then we can take a look at how much we have once we come back and it's going to be done. So I have 44,000 constructed structure points and 121,000 cell points. Let's use that as our brace of reference. That one is now done. This one will also be done very shortly. And as this one drops, we'll get 6. Perfect. That is super cool way of monitoring that we are now ready. And that when they have 15, we are ready to go. We are now returning. You can see there are 15 markers up here, and we are returning to our Lorenzo Lewis system. And while we have our tradition here of warp space, then thank you very much to the patrons who are supporting the channel. You are the ones who make it possible for me to continue to do this amazing thing. All right, I am somehow outside the planet. Yeah, inside the planet, and I snapped to the outside. It just hadn't loaded yet. Whoops. All right, so everything is now saturated. It's all good, and we can look at this one just for reference to see how much time has passed in this regard here. It was at 45, and now it's at 130. Yeah, a long time has passed, and this one has 121,000. Now it's at 517,000. We have twice as much power here. It's all good. What we now need to do is we have this magnificent power plant. We have our look at our science. Our research here is on the entire star cluster. No, entire star cluster. There we go. Nothing for the last 10 minutes. We'll have to monitor it for a minute because that's where it goes. And then I will just need to go here, upgrades, and we can also see how far we are on the upgrades. We are at level 56, and that means we are currently using 133.33. So that means every time, if we look at an ore resource, then we have to multiply by 30, and that's how much we have. So let's activate this one and activate a few more, and look at our research speed here. It's going to go up, and I want to see that going all the way up to 1 million here. All of them started working at the same time, which is kind of the purpose of this. And now none of these are. I have no warnings up here. Now what I could and probably should do is actually just disable this, because I only want this just for this build. So, but you know, this is all about just getting this one right working. It is when this number hits 1 million, then it works. So the first thing, why did it drop here? It drops because all of it was saturated inside all of these builds, and it's just had to burn through that. Or maybe that's actually not true. But as it hits 109, it should be 101 when it's completely done. This one should be 101. Ta-da! Data rules, everything around me. That was the mission we wanted to complete in this episode, and it works. Awesome. If we look at this, then it should be dropping down to 1.1 when you got over here. I think the other one was something that was stored maybe at the other location. I don't know. So that was one hell of an achievement. How about that? 1 million hashes per second in this giant facility. Of course, this is not sustainable because it would require 889 science per second, and that's a bit out of reach for this PC. You can see I'm running here at 25-ish frames per second. I mean, I don't mind, but I know a lot of people who just would not find that to be at all acceptable. See, 1.01 million hashes per second is the stable for as long as it's gonna run. So thank you very much everyone for joining, and that is one hell of a science facility we built here. And I hope it was a fun little episode. What we want to do now is working our way towards very big Dyson spheres, and that means more solar panels in order to do that, so we can launch more and we can build as much as possible in here. So that, I hope you want to join us for the last achievements that we want to achieve in this this series. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time, take care, and as always, stay effective.